Hello and welcome to our webinar. Today, I welcome everybody who's joining for the special Citrix topic together with our partner TechWave. We will start with a short introduction. So my name is Christian Heidkamp. I am the product manager for the NICE product series. And I also like to welcome today Igor, could you just quickly introduce yourself, please?
Sure, thanks, Christian, and hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar. I'm Igor Horvat, and I'm a product manager here at TechWave.
Great, so have a look. Let's have a quick look at the agenda. So if you can just forward, please, to the agenda so we can just quickly look what's on the table for today. So we have prepared really interesting topic, everything around Citrix today. So first we'll give a short introduction, and don't worry, it's not going to be long. Then we have an overview of the management packs from NICE as well, and then we're going into the overview from the actual Citrix management pack. And obviously we have a live demo. So let's see that all the systems are working live and working well. So quick background for those who are new here today in this webinar. NICE has been established many years already ago. We've been around since many decades, and we focus on developing monitoring software and provide services for that. We have a global customer reach, and also welcoming the customers today from United States and Asia here on this call today. And we have headquarters in Germany, Leonberg, where I'm located, and we have in the United States and EMEA the operations located. Before I hand over to Igor, let me just talk a bit about our portfolio. So we've basically at NICE being a one-stop shop for all third-party management packs for System Center Operations Manager and for Azure Monitor. So whatever you need for monitoring, feel free to contact us. These are the main management packs we do. So Microsoft 365, VMware, Oracle, and a lot of other databases. Plus, at the very bottom right, you see custom apps. So behind that, we do actually develop a lot of custom management packs for various clients worldwide based on our unique building block systems of NICE management packs. Today, we're talking about Citrix. So Citrix and Postgres and a couple of others are provided with our partner TechWave in collaboration. So, and with that, I will hand over to Igor. And Igor, please go ahead and start us talking a bit about TechWave and Citrix Management Pack.
Perfect, thanks, Christian. And first of all, I would like to thank our partner NICE for organizing this webinar and inviting me to present Citrix Management Packs. So TechWave specializes in developing management packs for Microsoft SCOM platform, and the company was founded in 2016. And we have developed 4 management packs so far. We started with Cloudera Management Pack, followed by PostgreSQL Management Pack, and in the last few years, we have developed a couple of Citrix Management Packs, which will be in the spotlight today.
Great, thank you. Quick comment to everybody who listens in. There is a Q&A area, so you can use this question. So if you have any question, please type them in there, and we take them while we're on the webinar, or we also pick them up at the end. So feel free to use that area. Sorry for the interruption. Please go on, Igor.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so here is just compatibility metrics so that it's clear what we support, which versions, right? On the virtual apps and desktop 7.15 or higher. Citrix ADC or NetScaler, we support 10.x or higher. Microsoft System Center Operations Manager 2016 or later. And also, last year, both management packs were certified as Citrix Ready and can be also found on the Citrix marketplace. So we all know, right, why management packs are actually needed. So I'm pretty sure that audience is familiar with this. But basically, the main idea is that IT needs end-to-end visibility, in order to deliver an application service to the users. And it is always important to have an overview of the entire application delivery stack, from the bottom infrastructure layer to the top network and security layer. And Citrix platform layer is only part of the overall application delivery stack, but very important and very complex one. Complete end-to-end visibility can be achieved by using several management packs. For example, you can use OS, management packs from Microsoft, DB and VMware management packs from NICE, then Citrix Management from TechWave, and so on and so on. So I will start with virtual apps and desktop management pack. I will also try to be, I will not go very deep. I'll just run through the slides, spend maybe 10 minutes on slides, and then I'll switch to live demo, and I look forward to some questions from the audience. What we see here is Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktops topology. Management pack automatically discovers Citrix components, and the topology view provides a quick overview of all Citrix components, their relationships, and health status. I will show later, what is needed to configure in the management pack, so that the management pack can go and discover everything. And I'll also go a little bit deeper in the demo, and we'll show which components are discovered. So it is probably better. So yeah. So the management pack provides two aspects: infrastructure monitoring and end user monitoring. So the next couple of slides will focus on infrastructure. The management pack monitors, I'll start with delivery controller. So the management pack monitors delivery controller health, its connectivity to the license server and the databases or the database where configuration information about the Citrix environment is stored. Delivery controllers in Citrix are responsible for coordinating the delivery of the virtual desktops and applications, and as such must be monitored in all different aspects. Then hypervisor connectivity is monitored with the management pack. This is done from the delivery controller perspective. This is hypervisor agnostic monitor. It doesn't matter which hypervisor is used, VMware, Hyper-V, Nutanix, whatever, right? Then desktop OS delivery groups. Management pack monitors delivery group utilization, and this feature is in most cases used for randomly assigned delivery groups, and tells you how many users are connected to a particular delivery group. You will be notified if you are running out of virtual desktops or if you are close to the limit. The MP also monitors logons for specific desktop OS delivery group. The average and longest user logon duration are tracked, and then you have all these different monitors that are checking if there are some faulted machines, available machines preparing, and so on.
Yeah, quick question. So I'm still interested how things happen under the hood. So just wondering how you do the measurement of the logon on the group level, basically. Can you just give short detail on that, please?
Yeah, so you'll see later in the in a couple of slides that we are doing individual end user monitoring, or real user monitoring, and based on that information we know exactly which user is connecting to which application, to which delivery group, and so on. And also we are measuring logon time, so we'll see this later. And yeah, that's actually how we get this info by monitoring the end users, right?
Perfect, thank you. Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Perfect. Okay, so next is server OS delivery groups. On the server OS delivery group level, management pack monitors the load of the delivery group. Administrators will be notified if there are not enough available servers for a particular server OS delivery group. Delivery group load capacity is also monitored. You will also be notified if there are unregistered machines in the group. And again, management pack also monitors logons for a specific server OS delivery group. It's the same way, we are doing it the same way as for the desktop OS delivery groups. One thing that we added last year is detailed monitoring of server OS machines. And this was actually requested by one of the customers. The management pack detects server OS machines with high load and also individual user sessions with high CPU consumption that are running on this server OS machine. So in case...
Questions like I just wondering, like, don't you have an agent to do that, like a Microsoft agent to do that? Why would you need this separately, and what can the Citrix administrator really gain in addition from that?
Not really. I mean, it is a prerequisite for this feature is that SCOM agent is installed on this server OS, but by default this SCOM agent will actually give you just the information about the total consumption on the machine, right? On the Windows server. In case one or more user sessions exceed the CPU usage threshold, you will not be able to see this with the normal SCOM agent and basic monitoring, but we can do that. So we are actually monitoring individual sessions inside the server OS machine, and not only that, if we detect that some session crossed the threshold for the CPU consumption, we will also run a diagnostic task, like you can see on the screen, which will give you details about top 5 processes by CPU usage within the affected session. So not only you will be notified of a problematic session, but you will also see which application or process is causing it. And one more thing is important here. Sometimes, when we discuss with this customer, so imagine that there are, about 40 sessions on the server OS machine. In case one session consumes more than 15 or 20% CPU percent of the total on the server, it's already a big problem, big issue, right? So in this case, the normal basic monitoring with SCOM agents will not detect it, but we can do this because we are doing it differently, and we are looking at sessions, not only on the overall CPU consumption. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So then applications, you will also see, if the applications are available in SCOM. This is more, we are actually monitoring and determining this based on the availability and status of the underlying delivery groups and the servers that belong to these delivery groups. Then there are also at the site and zone level, we monitor sessions, connected users. Some also we're looking at some status of the underlying delivery controllers on the whole site or zone level, right? So it can happen that if you have a lot of delivery controllers, even if 1 or 2 are not working, it's still not a problem. You'll get notified, but the service is still running. And then Management Pack also collects some of the other aggregated metrics that I discussed previously on the delivery group level, but this time we aggregate the data on the site and the zone level. Okay, so now Storefront. Storefront is part of every Citrix deployment, and this management pack is actually bundled in Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop, although it's actually, technically this is a separate management pack. It contains a separate topology view with all important storefront components. This topology view is also integrated into the master view, but nevertheless, it's a separate management pack. What we monitor here is all brokers configured for storefront stores are periodically checked to see if they are available from storefront server perspective. We also monitor availability of stores by checking if discovery URL is responsive, and Management Pack also monitors storefront services and certificates. Last year we have added PVS. PVS technology is still widely used, so we decided to add this management pack to the main Citrix MP product. This slide just shows the key capabilities of provisioning services management pack, which monitors PVS server operational status, number of server connections, PVS store path availability, streaming process health, and at the VDisk level, management pack periodically checks if VDisk is enabled, locked, if replication is working, and if the VDisk is load balanced. Target device activity and utilization is also monitored, and the availability of PVS stores. And then the next one, again, separate MP, but also bundled into the main one, is license server. This is actually the last slide I'm going to spend on the infrastructure. So what we monitor here is license usage. We have also, one feature that you can, in case you have users with multiple, that are connecting from the different domains, you can also separate this. This was again done for one of our customers. They are service provider, and they actually charge the customer for the Citrix service based on the connections, and then they can easily get the report. I don't know, so many users from domain A connected and so many from domain B, and so on and so on. Then license and subscription advantage expiration are monitored, and of course all services, daemon process that are important for license server to work properly. Okay, so now it's this was about the infrastructure. Now I'm going to switch to end user monitoring. So management pack monitors logons and logon duration of each individual user connecting to the Citrix environment, and management pack detects users who have to wait a long time to access applications or desktops. And in case you will have a long logon, you will actually receive an alert like this one, where you will see which user was affected, what was the logon time. You have also this, logon phases. You can see where the majority of time was lost. And then you will also know to which site this user tries to connect, to which delivery group, and also hypervisor, and also to which machine. You can see here that this one is trying to do a connection to Windows 2016, which is probably server OS machine, and this is server OS logon. Now, when the session is established, management pack will continue to monitor the session and will alert in case session CPU utilization is high, or if the session is experiencing latency issues. So these are the details that we collect from the about the end user sessions, and we collect basically this on all that you configure. And basically, again, if there will be a problem with the user session, you'll again receive an alert with which user is affected, to which server the session, with which server the session is established. Okay, in this case, you have to understand that this is, just I put my threshold to a very low number so that I catch some alert. But then you're going to see delivery group, hypervisor, and also applications that are used. So in this case, in this session, some command prompt and WordPad applications were running, and this was the CPU utilization. But these are also all other metrics. At the moment, we decided just to go with the CPU, and session RTT is monitored. We could also easily add other monitors if needed, but probably it's not necessary.
Okay, this is really a lot of detailed data. So I really wonder, how do you get to this? Is this basically collected by something that's installed on the client system, like an agent, or how do you get this data actually? So I'm curious.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Yeah, good question. Because first thing, we are using, we call it a performance collector. It's actually a service, and we don't require SCOM agents to be installed on all server OSs, or of course not on the desktop OSs. So what we do, we monitor this remotely. So it's done completely agentless. So you will need a performance collector to be installed on a Windows machine with the SCOM agent, right? And then this performance collector has to be configured. So you just have to add delivery controllers, and this performance collector will go to the delivery controllers, will list the get the list of the machines, server OSs and desktop OSs, and then make a remote connection, and will get the info about individual sessions. Very important, we don't store this to the default data warehouse database tables. It would probably be too much for SCOM. So we have our own database tables, which we maintain, and then for the performance reasons, we decided to separate this. It is still in the data warehouse, but in the separate tables. Okay, make sense?
Makes sense. Thank you.
Perfect. So I'm going to switch to live demo. In the next version, we are going to support also squared up integration. And administrator will be able to use the squared up console to monitor their Citrix environment. I'm going to go in live. So also, in case you don't have squared up application, it's still, a lot of native SCOM dashboards and reports are available. And I'm just, going to, so these are, plenty of this, and I'm going to show them live in live demo. And then I'll continue with, I have just a couple of slides later for the Citrix ADC or NetScaler Management Pack. So I'm just going to switch now a little bit so that I don't show just the slides. So can you see the, are you able to see the?
Yes, I do see the diagram view on the SCOM monitoring console. Yes, I do.
Okay, so we are also, we have, I think, plenty of time. It's 20 minutes past 4. Okay, perfect. So first of all, how the management packs are installed. So it's simply you just have to install on the SCOM server, import management packs, and then we have we have prepared templates here. So for example, if you want to monitor VAD, virtual apps and desktops, you have to add all the sites that you want to monitor. And if I go in the Europe site, for example, you have to add all delivery controllers that you have in this site, and you have to specify account with which the monitoring will be done. So it is required read-only administrator. So don't worry, we are not going to change anything on your Citrix environment. Just we need credentials to read the data from different servers. As I said, on the delivery controllers, SCOM agent is mandatory. And then, of course, you can also specify a resource pool. You can decide, how many SCOM servers are, should monitor this Citrix asset. Then storefront servers and license server also require SCOM agents to be installed, and this will, no additional configuration is needed. But for the PVS, it is needed. And again, if you have PVS, you'll have to add all farms here, and in this you'll have to add provisioning servers. I have two, and again, run as account, and resource pool is the same. For the ADC, I'm going to show later, and yeah. So let's take a look what we actually after this is installed, and it will take some time before this is discovered, and then you will see TechWave Citrix VAD folder here with alerts on top. So all alerts from the management pack are here, collecting the alerts from all different components. So it looks like my system is running very, very slow today. So it's a normal way when the demo day is here, right? But sorry for that. I hope the machine will get better soon. So, but yeah, here are the alerts. And then if I just switch back to the topology, so I mentioned before that there is this is a master topology that contains basic virtual apps and desktop infrastructure, and then you have here storefront, PVS, and Citrix licensing. Okay, so for example, if we go a little bit further into the sites, so I have here 2 sites configured, and then if I go to Europe, I can also see that I have here 2 zones. If you are not, if there are no additionally defined zones, then you can just, then you'll just see a primary one. And then in the primary zone, I have 2 delivery controllers. Here is a hypervisor connection. And then I have also a branch, UK branch office zone where additional delivery controller sits, right? You'll see here delivery groups. One thing that I can show immediately is this feature that is quite good, and it should be, yeah, so exactly. So I mentioned, before you asked Christian about this, how we actually monitor the user sessions inside the server OS machines. And this is one example. So this is a delivery group with just one single server OS machine. And if I go in here, I can show an alert. So session CPU usage alert was triggered. And then if I go into the state change event, I can see that, I'm running here CPU load executable, right? So this is actually an application that is causing some load on the server OS. And Management Pack, of course, detected this. So you can see this. This was done yesterday in the evening, and I prepared a little bit for the demo. This is one thing. Then you have here applications, application groups. If you have configured different application groups, but yeah, this is on the site level. Then we have here storefronts. So I have here storefront groups. I have 2 storefront servers in the storefront group. And then you will see here the services. You have here your stores and, yeah, sites, and then, XML brokers that are, covering these stores. Then we have here PVS. I have 2 sites, Germany, London, and then you have also, servers and also PVS stores with VAD disks that these are actually images from which the system is streamed, right? And then on the server level, you have again services and information about the PVS stores. And then one more is in this master topology. It's license server. You will see all your licenses here, and also the services and daemons. There is not a lot of things to monitor on license server, but still, very important. Without license server, nothing will work properly. And then, as I said, there are some simple dashboards, native dashboards integrated to have, an overview of the complete environment. The next one is site health overview. Then on this summary dashboard, we have the dashboards that give you an overview about the sites. So these widgets are actually from the Microsoft SQL management pack. So yeah, but nevertheless, you know, the good thing here is that you can see easily, you know, some basic info here, and that you can drill down. So this is how you can do it. So for example, I double clicked on a site level, so I should see now my sites, and then I'm going to go deeper into Europe site, and then I should see also delivery groups, and then I should see all the metrics that are. So if I go to the Europe, because you know the Australia is not in use at all, but yeah, you can see here some basic info. Of course, if you double click here, you will be transferred to a normal performance view, because you know these widgets are really small, but you know they will just give you an idea if your numbers go up or down, and yeah, so and then you can select here your metric that you want to see, right? Then you get actually a metrics for all the metrics for this specific object, right? And then if I double click even deeper into Europe, I'll see my delivery groups here. So I will go into the delivery groups, and then in the delivery groups, I'll pick one delivery group, and you know, I don't know, maybe this one, engineering, and I will see what's going on my delivery group. If everything is green or blue, means everything's fine. So yeah, widgets that are just blue means that there is only performance rule for this metric. If it's colored like green, orange, or red, meaning that we have a rule and monitor available for this specific metric, like for example for load usage. And if this load usage will be problematic, these widgets will go orange or even red. Okay. Then we have in the next folders, we have here delivery groups, and then we have a separate, yeah, you have here delivery group sessions, logons, some metrics on the delivery group level. Then there are some additional dashboards here in the desktop OS delivery group. Again, I'm going to click on one of these finance in Europe, right? So you have here sessions, what is group usage, machines, how many machines are, you know, total, unregistered, faulted, and so on. And here are the logons. Please note that this environment is not used a lot. So, you know, before demo, I usually create a couple of logons and create a couple of sessions. That's it. Then, of course, also static desktop OS performance. Static desktop OSs are actually private desktops, right? So the user has its own private machine to which he will always connect. It's not a random one, like you know, in the random desktop OS groups. And then you know, next folder here is server OS delivery groups, and again you have some metrics, so you can compare delivery groups to each other. And yeah, if I go to this one, for example, it looks like it's not, yeah, a couple of sessions again created, and some metrics like sessions, load, logons, and machines. Then we have licensing. I mentioned this before. We have separate topology here just for the licensing, because you know technically this is, you know, separate management pack, but you know it's, you know, license usage and stuff like that is important here. Not a lot of things to monitor, right? Then we have MP administration is, you know, you put our license here, that's it, you know, everything that you need to do here. You will get an alert if something's wrong with the MP, or, you know, you'll just, you know, prepare, you'll apply the license here. Provisioning services, again, separate topology. I already went through it before, so I'm not going to go again. You have here sites and servers, some, you know, health state dashboards, some performance metrics. Then you have sites. These sites are actually not under the provisioning, but these are the sites for VAD. So this one, for example, is interesting site overview. I like this one because it will tell me how many server OS delivery groups, how many random and how many static and random desktop OS groups are there. It should also show some metrics, but again, it freezed a little bit, so sorry for that. But yeah, basically what you can see here, you will see, sessions on the delivery groups and on the site. So you will see here, server OS load on the accounting, engineering, marketing group. Then you have here average logon time, so nobody connected to this, for example. Total sessions in average, and so on. Then we have storefront folder. Again, separate topology. You have here some performance, like broker performances, but mostly we are looking here if the stores are available and so on. And then these are the alerts that I mentioned in my slides. User logon. So an hour ago I created a few logons, and basically, please know that again, threshold here is set to a very low level. So it's up to you how you're going to set the threshold in the user logon duration rule. But you can see here that Citrix user 3 connected to site Europe, group delivery group finance, and it needed 10 seconds, right? And then user session alerts are here. Why we have here in a separate view is, this is not an object in SCOM, right? We don't want to have a session, or user as an object in SCOM. That's why, we just show the alert. But yeah, it is not created an object in the database for this, right? And again, for example, here you have the alert for CPU utilization, delivery groups, and so on. So Christian, do we have any questions so far?
No, it really looks great. There's one question though, is like how to identify the 10 slowest users, for example. Oh, I think they mean the person who asked the question is about the one which have most delay in logon, but I get this correctly.
Mm-hmm. So what this is going to be part of, it is going to be part of the in the squared up. We are going to have, this is not ready yet, but it's going to be this list of slowest ones and so on. You can also but sorry for this, it's really, I have an issue with my system, so we are going to add this here. But anyway, we have also I'm going to show native reports where you can get such info. If my system is going to be back soon, so what's going on? I need this one. It's really, sorry about that. It freezed for a moment. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to, because I'm having on this, I'm on the remote session.
Sure.
I hope maybe it's problem with the connection to the server. Nevertheless, I will now switch back to slides, and I'll show later the squared up integration and also some reports which are really interesting, because you'll see what kind of details you can actually see there. But in the meantime, I hope the connection will be back in few seconds or minutes. So I'm just going to spend 2 or 3 more minutes on Citrix ADC and Management Pack. So basically, Yeah, Citrix ADC or NetScaler Management Pack was also released last year and is licensed and sold separately. The Management Pack, connects to the ADC through Nitro API and automatically discovers ADC components. So we are using here, API recommended by NetScaler. We connect to NetScalers remotely through HTTP or HTTPS connection. And then, with the API calls, we get info about what's going on your NetScalers. So what is monitored? Devices or appliances, including CPUs, disks, memory, network interfaces, then load balancing configuration, including services, service groups, and virtual servers. Then Citrix gateways are also monitored. We support both physical and virtual NetScaler appliances. And Management Pack monitors hardware and system health, like, on temperature and fan speed are monitored on physical devices. Then, CPU, memory, hard drives, network interfaces, and so on. Since, this appliance is also used to provide secure connections, it is important that, that the certificates have not expired. And MP will also monitor, this aspect. Then on the gateway, at a gateway level, Management Pack monitors if the number of connected users is close to the maximum, then, health state of gateway virtual servers, and, some performance metrics like number of requests and responses. And then what we have here is load balancer. So load balancer virtual servers, service groups, and services are monitored. Management Pack will notify you in case of any health issues, and also, collect details about connected users, load on these servers, throughput, transactions, and, plenty of other metrics. If if somebody wants to test, you probably know that there is plenty of metrics available on the NetScaler. We already included a lot of metrics to the product itself, but still, if anything will be needed, please, let us know, because we already have a connection and, the infrastructure, how to get the data. So it's really easy to add a metric or 2 or 10, whatever is needed. Again, dashboards for this will also be released soon and available on the Squared Up marketplace. So let me check now if something's better here, but unfortunately it's not. So I'm going to connect to my second machine, which probably works fine. Okay, sorry for that. Probably that machine was. So what I wanted to show is. So there are plenty of reports available. So for virtual apps and desktop, you have infrastructure reports here, but I'm just going to show, we have just 15 minutes left. I'm going to show this real user reporting. So there is, for example, if you want to see your user logons, you can, run this user logon report, and I'm just going to create a report. So what you have to do here is, you have to, for example, these reports are created in such a way that, usually if the user is experiencing some issues, it will probably come to administrator and say, okay, look, I have a problem with Citrix. And then you can go here and you can check the history for this. And for example, I can say, okay, I want to know what's going on with this guy from last Monday till today. So I'm just going to get the report for 4 users now that I selected. You can also type. I know that, you know, if you have a lot of users, this can be difficult to find, but you know, it's okay. So obviously, yeah, I have, this is my personal machine and doesn't seem to be working fine because I have new something. Yeah, I didn't. Come on. I really wanted to show. I mean, this is usually the best part, but you know, I'm not sure what's going on with this machine.
Maybe so you can just show in the slides. You had great screenshots of the reports.
Yeah,
I think
just,
if you
just
pull them up. So
one more shot. Yeah, I'll just give me one more shot, and I'll just try. Maybe the connection freeze. You know, sometimes the problem is just with the yeah. Sorry for this. So I'm going to try and make another connection, and then I hope it will be better now. Not sure. Yeah, I mean, okay. Obviously, the window, this one freezed, right? So I already prepared this before. So basically, because you know, yeah, this one is main demo machine, not my personal one. So what I wanted to show is this one, right? User logon details, and again it freezed. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to. I'll have to show it in the here in slides. Sorry for that, guys. I really apologize for this. So I have here. I'm going to put back the slides and I'll just go back here. So yeah, so on the dashboard, on the squared up dashboards, we have, you know, you will see the dashboards really with a really detailed info about, you know, delivery groups, sites. We prepared already all the perspectives, so you can drill down by clicking, for example, on the delivery group. You will be transferred to the perspective, and then you can see under the perspectives you have the comparison between the different objects of the same class. So for example, we created in such a way that when you are going to double click on the delivery groups, you will get the perspective that shows all server OS delivery groups. And then if you click on a specific one, you'll get just the perspective for a specific server OS delivery group, for example. Then perspectives are defined for storefront, PVS, you know, all these components that contain some performance metrics. And yeah, it's really, and of course, all alerts and stuff like that. But yeah, it's integrated and all metrics can be obtained from there. There is one thing, as I mentioned, we are going to add for the user sessions and logons, we are going to add in squared up the report that will show top users, for example, with slowest logons, groups with slowest logons, and so on. And actually, that's also a great idea because, you know, we can also add this to a normal native. In the native dashboards, this is not included at the moment, but we can easily add this. That's a good idea to have this info. So I'm going to show this one. Yeah, this one actually shows. This is user application and desktop activity. You can actually see, if you select a user, you will be able to see all user sessions for you know, for the period that you selected, and you will see if the user was having you know, an application session, if it's a desktop session, and so on. And you will be able to see for this session how long was the logon duration. Then you know how long the complete session was opened, duration of the session, to which machine the session was, on which machine the session was created, in case this is server OS, which this one is because it's an application session, to which delivery group was connected. And then you will see for this specific session, what is the CPU utilization. You will also see memory and latency graphs. And by clicking on here on the machine, you will actually get, sometimes the session can be problematic because there is something wrong with the OS. And you will see by clicking on this link here, you will be transferred to the server OS machine report that shows all the metrics, and you will see if the problem is a session or server itself. In case this is a desktop session, all these performance metrics are also the metrics of the desktop itself, right? Because on the desktop OS session you will have just one user connected, and then one session is actually is the same, right? A session or OS. Then you have this report that shows all the logons for specific users. So you can see, for example, this user had 8 logons in this period that I selected in the report, and then what was average logon duration, and then you'll see all the details, and you can then compare what was wrong. So if this is 0 here, this means reconnect. So this is not, this is just reconnect, session reconnect. You can also have application usage report, which applications are mostly used, which applications are not used at all, and you can maybe remove them from Citrix. This is an example of server OS performance report, which I mentioned before, and will give you an overview what happens on the server OS. And this report is linked from the previous one, and so on and so on. I'm just going to go one more try. So Christian, in the meantime, if you can find some more questions, would be great. Otherwise, I'll just give one more shot to this machine to see if I can show something live, maybe squared up dashboards. Christian, still there?
Yes, I'm still here. So just let me check if there's some updated questions. There's only a general questions on the product structure, because I think you mentioned all kind of different management packs, but it is not sure which one requires separate license versus some which are in the Citrix Management Pack license. Not sure if you have a slide, or if you can quickly explain like what is separate, or what is included in what type of license.
Yeah, so we actually sell just 2 different management packs. One is Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktops, and the second one is Citrix ADC, or former NetScaler. So in the Virtual Apps and Desktops, you will have included provisioning services, storefront, and license server. And of course, also this end user monitoring is part of the virtual apps and desktops. And this is licensed on per user basis. So basically, what is the number of your Citrix users? That's the same number of licenses you need for the MP. On the ADC or NetScaler, we have 3 different tiers, and it depends on the ADC model, like VPX 200, VPX 1000, and or MPX for physical devices. And then there is we have a table and 3 different tiers, but usually the tiering is done based on the power of the appliance. So I think I have my squared up dashboards back. So basically, I was talking here. I'm here in the virtual apps and desktop. This is a master one that will show sites, zones, delivery controllers, some metrics here. Then, sessions on site, as I said, Australia, we didn't make any session here, so everything's blank. And then server OS machines, random desktop OS, static desktop OS, application group applications. And then I already, I'm not going to click here. I already have here all the perspectives I put into this folder. So, sites, for example, you can have an overview of sites here, so you can compare basically, your sites, Europe, Australia. You can see what's going on with your session. So you can see that then there are, some sessions were created here. So also some logons are visible here, how many unique users are connected. But then, all these metrics that Management Pack collects, you will also find here in Squared Up. Then I have here delivery groups. So you have here, general on all delivery groups, and then you will see also, a little bit more detailed into the, server OS, random, static desktop OS, stuff like that. Then we have here licensing and storefront. But yeah, basically, you have different, for example, as I said, on the licensing, you have just a couple of useful metrics here, like, licenses in use, so that if you are close to the limit and so on, you will anyway get the alert here. And then, on the ADC, this is for the separate product, for the separate management pack. And here again, you will get info about, I have three different net scalers, and what we monitor here is, you can see CPU, disk usage, memory utilization, network traffic, how many connections, and then you have plenty of different metrics here, but most of them are empty, but here you can see some traction, and by clicking on this, you will actually be transferred and see more detailed graph. You can, of course, this is for 12 hours. You can also check what's happening in last 1 day, or, it's a normal Squared Up dashboard. And again, perspectives are done then on the appliance level. So this is just, focus, this dashboard or perspective is focused on the appliances. Sorry, guys, this is the main, I already showed before the appliances, but this one is Citrix Application Delivery Controller, which has everything: appliances, gateways, load balancing, and so on. And then perspectives I have here, load balancing, appliances, gateway. If I go to load balancing, for example, it's just, perspective that is focused on the load balancing. But yeah, nothing is currently running here. So,
quick, there's one question, because we're coming up to the hour. It's like, obviously, if you're all showing this great, it looks like somebody has the question when this is available. So it's like, typically this question, I know when I'm doing demos or something cool, like everybody wants to have it. So can you just give a timeline a bit about this, when this can be expected to be available?
The dashboards are done. We just need to pack them and publish on the Squared Up marketplace. We are just going to add one more with end user is missing, so we just need to add one more dashboard, and then we are going to publish everything, and will be available as any other community dashboard on the Squared Up webpage.
Great. So is there anything you want to wrap up?
Perfect. I just want to encourage everyone on the call that, we have free evaluation. Happy to help you with configuring the management packs, and, you can test them for 45 days. And hopefully we can be in touch soon.
Great. So let's wrap up then. I thank you, Igor, very much for the presentation here today. We received good feedback so far, and as Igor said, so if there's any interest, please reach out to us at NICE or at TechWave. So we are a preferred distributor and partner here. So together with all the other management packs, so whatever regions you are, feel free to contact us. Also with questions, we put you in contact with the right person. And with that, thank you, Igor, and I leave it for you to close the call.
Yeah, thank you very much, Christian. It was great to be able to present management packs. So yeah, thank you very much for your time, and yeah, hopefully see you soon.